Welcome back to day 52 of our 55 days of Christ consciousness, inspired by the Christ consciousness self-mastery deck created by Amanda Ellis, illustrated by Jane Delaford Taylor. I'm Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections. I've been your guide along this journey. And I've been also learning more about these cards and connecting with Christ consciousness energies in a perhaps deeper way than I have before in the past. And remember, these are qualities that reside within you. They're definitely really a way of living, right? How might we learn from our experiences and choose to live in our higher self now? Choose to be our I am presence now. Choose to be our Christ-like selves now as you come into this divine union of your masculine and feminine energies, your divine unity. And it's a very, very, really beautiful way to live, I feel. A beautiful way to live. And I know it assists me in getting through so many challenges and to perceive life in a way that brings peace and harmony to myself and others, even when I'm seeing and experiencing the chaos of the world and it's very felt. But how might I no longer feel that chaos of the world inside me, right? Because if I'm no longer at war within myself, that means there's no longer war within the world I live in. And that radiates out. That radiates out. That means you become a master mediator, so to speak, and you continue to generate light. You begin to generate peace, and it just is contagious. So we have a few cards left in the deck, and we're on day 52. Let's see which card remaining wants to come out. Okay. Holy Grail, sacred union. Interesting. As I was speaking about our divine union, here we go. And it's such a beautiful card. And what I love about this card is that it's so colorful. So colorful. And I'll share it with you here. But if we hold the card upright, it's like this, right? And we so commonly, I think this is the common depiction, right, where we see the Vesica Pisces in the center, this portal. But here we have the painting this way, and I really love it because to me, how I've been seeing our energetic centers, if we're talking about wholeness, we've all come from one sphere, right? And then the light gets anchored within our physical body and it kind of separates along the spinal column. And it starts to get created at the time of conception through the body elemental, and our communication centers begin to be formed, right? So we have our gut instinct, we have our heart, and we have the brain stem and spinal column. The nervous system is being developed, and that's how we communicate. Right? But here we're talking about this Holy Grail, this sacred union within yourself. So I'm going to pause for a second. Right, had to pause briefly. But that ring was my twin brother, and I thought how fun to be talking about sacred union. And my lovely twin brother called me, and we just laughed a lot. And but I bring that in, the sacred union, because sometimes people think about twin flame energies and things like that. And there's something really special when you come into this world with an actual twin, and there's even fraternal twins like my brother and I are. There's still a bond that is different. There's still a union that's different, and sometimes you have to grow apart and you come back together. And same with your divine union of yourself, your masculine and feminine energies. Sometimes in this awakening process that we were talking about with Paul, right? You go through this different ways of living, and sometimes you go in a path that brings you back to your unity within. your masculine and feminine energies and aspects, right? But we can also look at this card of taking it just not just within your inner union, your inner sacred union, because it truly is a sacred union. Think about everything that came into alignment for you to be born into this physical form and to get you here in your path of light, right? There's so much sacredness and divine order that has occurred for you to be here. But as you come into this sacred union of the self, this sacred union with the whole of life, and even calling in your sacred partner and partnerships, right? Because even friendships can have a real sacred bond and connection. And but we truly are thinking about the sacred union. It does begin with the self, the sacred union of the self, bringing in your masculine and feminine qualities and really uniting them. As we see here, we also see the colors of what can be referred to as the threefold flame, and your divine spark. And your I am gets anchored into that. Excuse me, I'm burping here, clearing some energy. And then your divine essence, your I am presence is anchored into that secret chamber of the heart, right? So we see the divine will in blue, that masculine energy. We see the magenta. We also start to see these orange and yellow hues and even some lime green, even it gets in the richer green as well of healing, right? So there's a healing journey that occurs within your sacred union journey and experience. We heal the traumas of the past and within the self, right? Those get absorbed. We bring in love and light. We bring in we illuminate everything. The illumination, we turn our experiences and knowledge into wisdom. We start to bring in the divine will of our expression, our voice, our thought. And we can look at each other as whole. We're two holes, two whole spheres, two whole beings of light coming together, and then to create this sacred union. And as these spheres come together, it does create a portal. And if you recognize, I remember in my shamanic studies, because I am also a shamanic practitioner, they're portals, right? The openings to the body are all shaped as a Vesica Pisces shape. So even though this is, and then you see there's that energy center right in the middle of that flame, those flames igniting, but there's a calmness and coolness as we bring in these energies, right? These energies are coming in balanced. So you are coming in balanced, in harmony with yourself and your divinity, your wholeness, your masculine and feminine qualities. So is the partner that you may be calling forward, even if they're friendships, right? We're not just talking about sexual relationships here that turn into romantic. We're really raising that energy in the way we connect and bond with each other from more of a balanced, harmonious, heart-centered way of being. So much discernment, so much has been healed and in harmony before choosing to have sexual relationships. We talk more about that in the sexual and the sacred sexuality. But even as you come into the sacred union of the self and the sacred union with others, that bond, it's a heart bond. It's a connection that transcends that physical desires of the flesh, right? Because we're raising the qualities in the way we interact with ourselves and others, that we have more discerning when we feel that creative energy. When we feel that creative energy, we're recognizing, oh, this is a collaboration. It's not necessarily that I want to be sexually intimate with somebody. It's a deeper bond that is very heart-centered as two whole beings unite and collaborate. right? They're looking at each other eye to eye. They're seeing each other. Your eyes are shaped very much like this. The ears, the holes, even the vagina, the tip, the penis, any orifice is shaped like this to the body. It's a portal, it's a gateway, right? Think about our energetic centers and the power of our light body and chakra centers, right? We have chakra centers of the ears, our third eye, the the physical eyes, but also we see, think about what our physical eyes are connected to. They're the visionary piece, they're gateways to the soul. They're gateways to the soul, right? So when you have two souls coming together, uniting together, that can be very powerful as they're in their self-mastery as well. And then there's this Holy Grail aspect, right? The Holy Grail that resides within you. You do not have to go out and seek an actual physical cup. The energy of the Holy Grail resides within you. That sacred union with God. The sacred union with yourself, the I am presence in full harmony. That, as you unite that, it calls forth your sacred union, if you want to call it a twin flame union. It calls forth your sacred union to you. It's magnetized to you, as both of you've already gone through the karmic things that you've had to heal on a soul level through your journey. So let's not get lost in terminology here, because I know when people speak of twin flame energy, it is so often mistaught and lacks understanding and experience. It is definitely a sacred journey of healing and self-mastery, and it's energy. It's the divine union within yourself, and it's energy. And it's sometimes we can have other souls, and then people will say, oh, it's a karmic relationship. Well, that may be, but sometimes the twin flame energy can be extremely volatile and draw out a other healing within someone else and within each other, but you're not meant to stay together at this time. Another energy that has the same twin flame like energy will be sent to you if that particular soul, you guys were not meant to unite in this lifetime. It can be so complicated. People often over romanticize these relationships. I've heard it time and time again. And it's like, oh, this and that. And it's not all, they're not always meant to be romantic and sexual in nature. Right. And I hear it taught that way over and over again still, where it's like, no, this is a very powerful energy design of your divine union within the self as you come into your wholeness, your purity, your balance of your masculine and feminine energies, and it's grounded energy. And same too with the partner, the sacred union of yourself and with the person that comes into your life, or people, because it can be represented through more than one person. But let's bring it back to the self. Let's bring it back to the self, because it's the Christos Sophia codes that are being ignited within you, your masculine and feminine codes being asked to come into harmonics from the floor up throughout your light body into the sacredness of the heart, to bring in illumination through you, through the light of God. And your relationships that you carry with another will be vastly different. And you will no longer be seeking that partner, because you're going to trust and go, okay, it's coming. That partner is coming to me. I will know when, I will feel it. You'll be more discerning in the way you engage your relationships. It could, again, it could also be a platonic one. It can be platonic. It could be a father-daughter, father-brother, or son. It could be a mother-daughter, mother-son, where you're creative and you grow businesses together, and like your creativity together is so balanced and beautiful. It can have that same quality. Some people, it can be the person you end up sharing life with. Right? Because you're not threatened by each other's power. You're totally balanced and you complement. It's like you have the angel, the angelic realm, and you have their divine complements, right? We have Sandalphon, Archangel Metatron, their divine complements. They're all in their personal power and balance of the masculine and feminine energies held within them, and they hold their roles beautifully. They counterbalance each other and come into wholeness. Right? It doesn't have to be that person's yin and yang. You both are the yin and yang within yourself, and you come into wholeness and unite. And you know when and how to use your own frequencies and vibration. But let's see what the card has to share with us. It's card number 29 in the sacred union, right? Because it's truly, I want you to focus on the sacred union within yourself, within your heart, the masculine and feminine energies within you, and how you connect to the earth and the universe, the Helios Investa, the mother father within you, the divine union with the God light in you, your divine spark. How is that evolving within you as you come in and recognize you are already whole, purified, ascended, and you're living that way? You're in your embodiment and stepping further and further into self-mastery as a master of light. And then the person that comes and people that come into your life become also a sacred union and bond. But where does that Holy Grail reside within you as you call forth your partner? Because it'll automatically be magnetized within your heart. And that other sacred union, whoever it is, well, because it doesn't matter if it's male, female, okay? That other one will also, you guys will be attracting each other through time, right? And time doesn't exist. So they may be living on this planet or they might not. Okay, so just know that it doesn't always mean their incarnation right now. So you can still connect through the sacred union within yourself. You can still connect with the sacred union of what can be referred to as a twin flame connection. So, but let's see. And whenever working with that energy, bring it back to the self for now until you really understand the sacred union within you. Okay, because sometimes the soul must wait. Sometimes the soul must wait. And you have to raise the ego desire, the desires of the flesh. You have to be able to discern if you're leading that way, if you're humanizing it versus being in your higher self with it in a higher perspective. Because it's such a fine line. It's such a fine line. So it's card 29 for those of you that like to look up the numerology. It brings down to an 11, which is so perfect. 11. Especially as we brought in some of the twin flame energy, the twin energy, my brother calling the twin energy, right? Yeah, it's very timely and perfect. Again, bringing it back to the self, right? You must bring it back to the self. Because this is truly what we are talking about in your ascension, your inner growth is the divine union within yourself and and source energy, your higher self, your your godlike qualities within you, the balance of masculine and feminine energy and ways of being. To come into union with oneself is the greatest love and creates new worlds that can manifest outwardly, including loving relationships that are pure, holy, and sacred. Say it, loving relationships. It's plural because all of your relationships will become that. And if they're not that, you will create them to be that because that's who you are. It always starts first as an inner journey and pilgrimage. And within the template of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, we have two energies to bring into our hearts, integrate and learn from them. Mary, not the outcast sinner or fallen woman, but the one Christ loved most, the one whom he first revealed himself to at the tomb, and the disciple who understood him the most. Within her, he found a kindred soul, a confidant, and a beloved equal, not a relationship of imbalance, but one of alliance, shared understanding, commitment, and unswerving loyalty. In Jesus, Mary found a friend, an anointed love, right? Remember anointed, Christ-like. Christ means anointed, okay? It's anointed love, shared purpose, passion, kinship, and wisdom. Her yin to his yang to her yin, together creating a portal, safe dwelling ground, and forward flowing movement for generations to come. This card encourages you to explore the energies both of Mary and Jesus, the times that are recorded as having interacted and the times not written, for there is much more to be revealed. And the truth of it lies within reach, deep knowing of the power of divine masculine and divine feminine combined, and how it has transformed the world then and still can now. So I'm reminded of Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. And let me see, there's a book called Anna. So let me see if I could find it real quick. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I found it pretty quickly, called Anna. And I really encourage those of you who feel connected to look up the author. Claire Hartsong is the author, and she has different books. A Message of Wisdom and Love, Anna, A-N-N-A, grandmother of Jesus, A Message of Wisdom and Love. And the reason why, she has other books, so this is the only one that I have. The reason why I suggest this read for those of you, because it describes the sacred union in a different way, even preparing the body, the male and the female to receive light and create life, right? And there's a sacredness in the partnerships and even preparation to receive the soul and create, right? So there's the divine union within the self, each partner coming into their wholeness. And then the preparation, the way the Essenes lived was so beautiful. And it also reminds me of very much Lumerian energy. And so I encourage you to read that. And because at least for me, it strikes me as a very powerful way of coming into a sacred union in relationship and bringing life to the world and choosing to bring the soul into embodiment through the vessel of the human body, the female body, as the light also comes in through the male body and conception. Okay, so maybe some of you will have either read or will read and see how that resonates for you. I'd love to hear your feedback because I think it's a wonderful read and one you may inquire about and see what gets ignited within you. Maybe it fills in some puzzle pieces. I don't know. So Where were we? The card encourages you to explore the energies both of Mary and Jesus. The time, because these energies are within you, whether you're male or female, they're within you both. This card encourages you to explore the energies of Mary and Jesus, the times they are recorded as having interacted and times not written. For there is much more to be revealed, and the truth of it lies within reach. Deep knowing of the power of divine masculine and divine feminine combined and how it transformed the world then and still can now. The Vesica Pisces symbol between them illustrates the potential that exists when two fully formed whole energies intersect and create something new, unique and unexplored. Such magic materializes out of space, time, and other dimensions. So as I said, you create a portal of creation here in the middle. It's very illumined, it's very powerful place. Very powerful place. And think about the vortices within our own body. And when those all come online and unite, it creates one sphere of light. Very powerful and grounded. Okay, it must be grounded in something. It transcends. Okay. Such magic materializes out of space, time, and other dimensions. It is the birth that transcends and liberates all it touches. You may be working on the creation of something new, be it a baby, a project, a skill, or a craft, and to do so successfully requires the merging of both your feminine and masculine selves. This means to do as well as to care, to focus as well as to rest, to proceed and make time to pause, to be clear and direct, but also soft and open. It is in this balance energy that fertile new growth occurs that is sustainable, lasting, and true. You may also be seeking healing within relationships, looking to understand the art of giving and receiving, being held, allowing space, opening, allowing someone in. Additionally, you may feel as though sacred love is elusive and hard to find, having built up walls of mistrust or miscommunication for protection and to prevent yourself from getting hurt. I'm going to pause there for a moment because we are in a time of giving. And so many people give during this holiday season, but so many of us have a hard time receiving. Where might you also be able to receive in this place? Right? And what I also witness are so many people begging to receive, like demanding it because it's expected of you to give during this season. So how might you be in harmony with all of these things? With all of these things that are not taken, that where there's no misuse of power, no expectation, but you are in such a place within your divinity that you are giving and receiving, that's both giving and giving back to you. It's giving, there's reciprocity. There's reciprocity in your generosity, and it's without expectation because it ebbs and flows evenly, like the yin and yang was described. It ebbs and flows evenly. So if you have a business, right, working with money is a very masculine energy, but tending and caring for is more how do you nurture the business to grow? Right? And then you bring in the components, the structure, the templates, right? And then you bring in the creativity. Okay, and then how do I have that idea, that creative idea? Now let's create the structure to get the ebb and flow of the creativity and masculine energies to create the business, have it be successful and run and make adjustments. So for those of you that are entrepreneurs, you may recognize like, wow, I need more polishing up, mastery of maybe the masculine energy and how do I work with money? How do I work with structure? Right? I know for me, I get challenged in that because I have all these creative ideas. How do I get it into form? How do I get it into form and then also monetize it? So it's also giving to me where I get to receive back. right? That's just an example, because I also do body work and healing work, right? How can I get out there and get comfortable in these masculine components to being an entrepreneur and business owner, right? How might that show up in my other business or like relationships? Am I open to them or am I closed? Right? And there, that'll show you where your work needs to be done. And maybe someone else comes in to assist you in that, right? So people get coaching, business coaching, relationship coaching, things of different natures, right? So then you can put action to it, right? You can put loving action to whatever it is you're working toward and creating, right? Because you need both. You need both the vision, the creation, and then you need the architect for structure and foundation. Okay. The masculine and feminine energies. Again, you are encouraged to practice self-love, to heal the broken and damaged parts, and to learn to love yourself no matter what. Your worth is not based on anyone else's approval or recognition, since God loves you unconditionally. And if you do not love yourself, how can you expect another to? Jesus and Mary teach us how to truly acknowledge our divinity and presence, and they also urge you not to turn away from your scars or parts of yourself that you judge. None of us are perfect. Our flaws, mistakes, and broken bits make us human. The Holy Grail is found when you feel worthy of drinking from it, where we stand in our God-given sovereignty, beauty, and light. Then we will have ceased looking for others to save or love us. I'm going to repeat that. Then we will have ceased looking for others to save or love us. And we'll realize that we have everything we need inside. This new understanding and incidents will then be mirrored back to us, a divine union, all that is holy, unleashed to create the new. It is such a powerful place to be when you are whole and truly see that. When you love yourself and truly know that, you no longer look outside of yourself for anything or anyone. But it doesn't mean you're closed off to love with another. It doesn't mean you're closed off to create. It's quite the opposite, because then you're in this portal of everything. You're in this portal of everything. And whatever you want to create, you can. And it'll come from such a different place than you have before, where there is no judgment. There's just what is, and you take the steps necessary to move forward or let go and start again. And there's just a sacred, like hallowed ground that you now walk, and then you walk together. You walk within yourself in this hallowed space, this sacred space, and then you walk together in this space. So how might you breathe that, continue to keep that portal open within yourself, and then within others and the partnerships and relationships you bring forward. I think that's a really beautiful place to end and be in contemplation with. I'm Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections. Remember to like and share this video, and I'll see you on day 53. Have a really, really blessed day.